Absorption. The process of taking something into another substance. Absorption of nutrients in the intestines is crucial for maintaining bodily functions. Plants use absorption of water through their roots to sustain growth and photosynthesis. Different materials exhibit varying rates of absorption when exposed to moisture or water. Soundproof rooms are designed to enhance the absorption of sound waves for better acoustics. Replication. The act of copying something exactly. Without replication, scientific conclusions may be considered unreliable or prone to error. In biology, replication is necessary for cells to pass on genetic information to their offspring. The team conducted replication studies to confirm the initial experiment's surprising results. Accurate replication ensures that results can be trusted and used to build further knowledge. Evaporation. Process of turning from a liquid into vapor. The rate of evaporation increases with higher temperatures and greater air circulation. The heat from the sun accelerates evaporation, leading to higher humidity levels on hot days. During evaporation, only the water evaporates, leaving behind dissolved salts and minerals. Evaporation plays a crucial role in the water cycle, helping to replenish the Earth's freshwater. Chain reaction. A chemical reaction produces energy. In a nuclear reactor, a controlled chain reaction generates heat for electricity production. One accident triggered a chain reaction of collisions on the highway, causing major traffic delays. In physics, a chain reaction occurs when the products of one reaction trigger subsequent reactions. A chain reaction in the economy can be initiated by a single policy change affecting multiple sectors. Reproduction. The act or process of producing babies. Reproduction ensures the survival of a species by allowing organisms to produce offspring. Reproduction in plants often relies on pollination, followed by seed production and dispersal. In animals, reproductive behaviors are often influenced by environmental factors and seasons. Understanding reproduction is crucial for conservation efforts, especially for endangered species. Homogeneous. Things that are all of a similar kind. A homogeneous mixture is uniform throughout, with its components evenly distributed. Milk is an example of a homogeneous substance, as the fat particles are evenly distributed. The society was largely homogeneous, with few differences in language, culture, or ethnicity. Solutions like salt water are considered homogeneous because the solute is dissolved uniformly. Pseudoscience. Theory that is not formed in a scientific way. Astrology is considered a pseudoscience because its predictions lack empirical support. Belief in pseudoscience can lead people to reject evidence-based research and medical advice. Pseudoscience often presents claims that cannot be tested or verified using the scientific method. Pseudoscience thrives on anecdotal evidence rather than controlled experiments and peer review. Erosion. The gradual destruction or diminution of something. Coastal erosion has significantly reshaped the landscape over the past few decades. Soil erosion can reduce agricultural productivity and lead to desertification in dry areas. Erosion slowly wears down mountains, creating valleys and altering the landscape over time. Erosion control techniques include planting vegetation to stabilize the soil and prevent runoff. Percolation. The process of a liquid slowly passing through a filter. Percolation of contaminants through groundwater can pose serious environmental hazards. Water percolation through soil layers is essential for groundwater recharge in many ecosystems. Rainwater percolates through the ground, replenishing aquifers and supporting plant root systems. Scientists study percolation patterns to understand how contaminants spread through groundwater. Sedimentation. The process of settling or depositing as sediment. Coastal erosion contributes to sedimentation by depositing materials into nearby oceans. Sedimentation in lakes and reservoirs can reduce water storage capacity, leading to flooding. The process of sedimentation is critical in forming sedimentary rocks like sandstone and shale. Sedimentation occurs when particles suspended in water slowly settle to the bottom over time. Precipitation. Water that falls from the clouds towards the ground. The weather forecast predicted that precipitation would likely fall as snow by the evening. Precipitation levels this year were much lower than average, leading to drought conditions. Rain, snow, sleet, and hail are all different forms of precipitation caused by weather systems. Different forms of precipitation include rain, snow, sleet, and hail, depending on temperature. Refraction. The bending of a wave as it enters a new medium. Light changes direction as it passes through water due to the phenomenon of refraction. Refraction occurs when light passes through materials like glass, bending the light's path. The phenomenon of refraction is responsible for the rainbow of colors seen in a soap bubble. Refraction causes the bending of light as it passes from air into water, creating optical illusions. Weathering. Dissolving of rocks and minerals on Earth's surface. Physical weathering occurs when rocks crack and break due to temperature fluctuations. Weathering and erosion work together to shape the landscape and create soil over centuries. Weathering breaks down rocks into smaller particles, contributing to soil formation over time. There are two main types of weathering: mechanical, caused by physical forces, and chemical. Light year. The distance that light travels in 1 year. It would take millions of light years to reach the farthest observed galaxies from Earth. A light year is the distance that light travels in 1 year, approximately 5.88 trillion miles. The Andromeda Galaxy, the nearest spiral galaxy to us, is roughly 2.5 million light-years away. Astronomers use the concept of a light year to measure vast distances between celestial objects. Lithosphere. The solid outer crust of any celestial body. Earthquakes occur when tectonic plates in the lithosphere shift suddenly, releasing energy. The lithosphere floats atop the more fluid asthenosphere, allowing for tectonic movement. Plate tectonics explains how the lithosphere is broken into large plates that move over time. Scientists study the lithosphere to understand the formation of mountains and other landforms. Magnetism. The properties of attraction possessed by magnets. Magnetism is a force that causes certain materials, like iron, to attract or repel each other. The strength of a magnet's magnetism decreases as the distance between objects increases. Scientists are studying magnetism at the quantum level to improve data storage technologies. Magnetism plays a crucial role in the operation of electric motors, generators, and transformers. Molecule. The smallest particle in a chemical compound. Molecules are formed when two or more atoms bond together to create a stable structure. The structure of a molecule determines its chemical properties and interactions with others. Molecules play a crucial role in biological processes like photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Scientists studied the molecule to understand how it reacts under different temperature settings. Momentum. The quantity of motion of a moving body. Momentum is the product of an object's mass and velocity, influencing how hard it is to stop. A fast-moving train has significantly more momentum than a slower-moving car of equal mass. Athletes use their momentum to propel themselves forward in sports like long leaping or sprinting. To change an object's momentum, an external force must be applied, altering its speed or direction. Acceleration. The rate of change of velocity per unit of time. Gravitational forces cause acceleration when objects fall towards the Earth's surface. An increase in acceleration is required for the rocket to break through Earth's atmosphere. Rapid technological advancement leads to the acceleration of scientific discoveries worldwide. The spacecraft's rapid acceleration allowed it to escape Earth's gravitational pull within minutes. Inference. A guess that you make based on information. Inference allows us to draw logical conclusions when direct information is not available. The students practiced making inferences by analyzing patterns in the data set provided. Scientists make an inference about a phenomenon based on observations and collected data. In science, inference bridges the gap between known facts and new discoveries or hypotheses. Meteorology. Meteorology is the study of our atmosphere. Meteorology is the scientific study of the atmosphere and weather patterns around the world. Many people rely on meteorology to make daily decisions, such as what to wear or how to travel. Advances in meteorology allow meteorologists to predict storms and other severe weather events. Meteorology helps farmers plan their activities based on seasonal forecasts and rainfall predictions. Obsolete. No longer used because something newer exists. Obsolete machinery in factories is often replaced by more efficient, automated systems. With the rise of smartphones, flip phones have become largely obsolete in modern society. Many traditional technologies, like VHS tapes, are now considered obsolete and rarely used. As language evolves, certain words and phrases become obsolete and fall out of common usage. Corrosion. The gradual destruction of materials, usually metals. Scientists developed a special coating to protect the ship from corrosion in salty waters. The metal pipe showed signs of corrosion after years of exposure to moisture and salt air. Corrosion can significantly weaken structures if preventive measures are not taken in time. Corrosion occurs when materials, particularly metals, react chemically with their environment. Acidification. The process of making or becoming an acid. Industrial pollution contributes significantly to the acidification of nearby lakes and rivers. The rapid acidification of the air is linked to increasing carbon dioxide emissions worldwide. Researchers are studying the long-term effects of acidification on marine life and coral reefs. Ocean acidification poses a significant threat to marine life, especially coral reefs and shellfish. Adaptation. A trait that helps an organism survive and reproduce. Successful adaptation enables organisms to exploit new ecological niches and resources. The adaptation of plants to desert climates includes features like water storage in stems. Human adaptation to changing environments has allowed civilizations to thrive for millennia. Animal adaptation to different ecosystems is critical for their survival and reproductive success. Algorithm. A set of rules to solve a mathematical problem. The encryption algorithm ensures that sensitive data is securely transmitted over the Internet. The search engine's complex algorithm ensures users receive the most relevant results instantly. Understanding how an algorithm works can help improve its efficiency and overall performance. Social media platforms use algorithms to tailor content based on user preferences and interactions. Amplitude. The maximum extent of a vibration or oscillation. The amplitude of the sound wave determines how loud or soft the sound is perceived. Amplitude modulation is a technique used in radio transmission to encode information. Seismologists use the amplitude of seismic waves to assess the magnitude of earthquakes. In physics, the amplitude of a wave is the maximum displacement from its resting position. Anatomy. The study of the structure of organisms and their parts. Advances in technology have allowed for more accurate digital models of human anatomy. Anatomy classes involve learning the structure and function of various organs and systems. A detailed understanding of human anatomy is essential for anyone studying medicine or biology. The study of anatomy helps us understand how organisms are constructed and how they function. Antigen. A substance that induces an immune response. When an antigen is introduced, the body produces antibodies to target and neutralize it. Blood type is determined by the presence or absence of specific antigens on red blood cells. Antigen detection tests are commonly used to diagnose infections like the flu and COVID-19. Antigens are crucial in helping the body recognize and combat viruses and bacteria effectively. Biodegradable. Able to decay naturally and in a way that is not harmful. The packaging is made from biodegradable materials that decompose naturally over time. It's important to choose biodegradable products to reduce environmental waste and pollution. Composting biodegradable waste helps enrich the soil and reduce the need for chemical fertilizers. Research is ongoing to develop new biodegradable alternatives to replace non-recyclable materials. Biome. A specific environment that's home to living things. Marine biomes, like coral reefs, are under threat from pollution and ocean acidification. Each biome has distinct climate conditions that support different types of flora and fauna. Deserts are a biome that receives minimal rainfall and is home to specially adapted organisms. Tropical rainforests are the most biodiverse biome, housing numerous plant and animal species. Fertilization. The action of applying a fertilizer to soil or land. The timing of fertilization is crucial for successful reproduction in many animal species. In flowering plants, fertilization occurs when pollen reaches the ovule inside the flower. Fertilization marks the beginning of a new life, combining genetic material from both parents. Successful fertilization leads to the development of an embryo and eventually a new organism. Glacier. A large mass of ice that moves slowly over land. Melting glacier contribute to the formation of large lakes and rivers in mountainous regions. The movement of glacier grinds rock beneath them, creating fine sediment called glacial flour. A massive glacier once covered this entire region, leaving behind unique geological formations. Glaciers store a large percentage of the world's freshwater, which is vital for many ecosystems. Gravitational force. The force of attraction between any two masses. The gravitational force of the Earth keeps objects grounded and dictates orbital mechanics. The Moon's gravitational force causes tides in Earth's oceans, affecting coastal ecosystems. Gravitational force weakens with distance, explaining why outer planets have longer orbits. Isaac Newton's discovery of gravitational force revolutionized our understanding of physics. Equilibrium. All the forces on a body are exactly in balance. The market reached equilibrium where supply effortlessly matched consumer demand. Achieving mental equilibrium during stressful times is crucial for maintaining inner peace. The chemical reaction reached equilibrium, with no further changes in reactant concentrations. Dynamic equilibrium exists when opposing forces or processes occur at the same rate over time. Evolution. Any process of formation, growth, or development. Darwin's theory of evolution explains how natural selection drives changes in organisms. Fossil records provide crucial evidence for the theory of evolution and common ancestry. The theory of evolution explains how species adapt to changing environmental conditions. Fossil records provide crucial evidence of the gradual process of evolution through millennia. Friction. The action of one object rubbing against another. Reducing friction with lubrication increases the efficiency of moving mechanical parts. Shoes with high friction prevent slipping, making them ideal for hiking on rough terrain. Decreasing friction in machinery improves efficiency and reduces wear on moving parts. Friction generates heat when two surfaces rub against each other for an extended period. Genotype. The genetic constitution of an individual organism. The genotype of an organism determines its genetic makeup and potential physical traits. A person's genotype for eye color is inherited from both parents and passed to offspring. Genetic testing can reveal a person's genotype for certain inherited conditions and traits. Differences in genotype contribute to the genetic diversity within a population of organisms. Diffusion. The spreading of something more widely. Diffusion allows oxygen to move from the lungs into the bloodstream during respiration. In biology, diffusion allows essential molecules like oxygen to move across cell membranes. Diffusion is an important process in biology, particularly for the transport of nutrients in cells. The perfume scent spread throughout the room through the process of diffusion in the air. Digestion. The breakdown of food into smaller components. The digestion of fats occurs in the small intestine with the help of bile produced by the liver. The digestion of food begins in the mouth with the breakdown of carbohydrates by enzymes. Digestion is a complex process involving several organs working together to break down food. Digestion involves both mechanical and chemical processes to convert food into usable energy. Greenhouse effect. Gases in Earth's atmosphere trap the sun's heat. The greenhouse effect is driven by gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor. Excessive carbon emissions have increased the greenhouse effect, leading to global warming. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions is essential for mitigating the enhanced greenhouse effect. Excessive greenhouse effect contributes to climate change and more extreme weather patterns. Heredity. The passing on of traits from parents to their offspring. Heredity explains why family members often share similar physical characteristics and traits. Heredity plays a key role in passing traits from parents to offspring through genetic material. Eye color, hair texture, and certain diseases are influenced by heredity and genetic inheritance. Genetic disorders can be passed down through heredity, affecting multiple generations of a family. Ecosystem. A community or group of living organisms. Protecting ecosystems is vital for maintaining the natural resources that humans depend on. Forest ecosystems provide essential services, such as carbon storage and habitat for wildlife. In a healthy ecosystem, each species plays a crucial role in maintaining environmental balance. The introduction of invasive species can severely disrupt the biodiversity of a delicate ecosystem. Entropy. A measure of the disorder or randomness in a system. Over time, entropy causes systems to move towards equilibrium and maximum disorder. Entropy is a measure of disorder, and higher entropy means greater randomness in a system. As energy is lost as heat, the entropy of the universe increases, making processes irreversible. In thermodynamics, entropy provides insight into the direction and viability of chemical reactions. Convection. The process of heat transfer through gases or liquids. The sun's heat causes convection in the atmosphere, creating wind and weather systems. The Earth's mantle undergoes convection, driving the movement of tectonic plates over time. Weather patterns are greatly influenced by convection, especially in the formation of storms. Convection plays a crucial role in transferring heat from the Earth's surface to the atmosphere. Decomposition. The process of breaking down organic substances. The decomposition of organic matter returns nutrients to the soil, promoting plant growth. The decomposition of organic matter in the soil enriches it with essential nutrients for plants. Decomposition is a natural process that breaks down dead organisms into simpler substances. In composting, controlled decomposition produces nutrient-rich soil amendments for gardening. Hypothesis. A proposed explanation for a phenomenon. A hypothesis is tested through experimentation and observation to determine its validity. The scientist formulated a hypothesis to explain the unusual behavior of the chemical reaction. A well-constructed hypothesis helps guide the direction of scientific investigation and discovery. After conducting experiments, the hypothesis was either supported or rejected based on the data. Igneous. Rock having solidified from lava or magma. The geologist explained how igneous rocks crystallize as magma cools below the Earth's surface. Granite, an igneous rock, is commonly used in construction for its durability and aesthetic appeal. Igneous processes deep within Earth's crust can lead to the formation of valuable mineral deposits. Granite is an example of an igneous rock, solidified from molten magma beneath the Earth's crust. Kinetic energy. Energy that it possesses due to its motion. Kinetic energy is transferred between objects during a collision, affecting their velocity. At its highest point, the roller coaster has maximum potential energy and zero kinetic energy. The kinetic energy of particles in a substance determines its temperature and state of matter. Wind turbines convert the kinetic energy of the wind into electrical energy for power generation. Catalyst. A substance that speeds up a chemical reaction. The development of the Internet was a major catalyst for global communication and trade. Platinum is often used as a catalyst in industrial chemical reactions, such as fuel production. Enzymes act as biological catalysts, facilitating reactions essential for life in living organisms. The invention of the steam engine was a catalyst for the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century. Condensation. The process by which a gas turns into a liquid. Condensation occurs when gas molecules lose energy and transition into a liquid state. In air conditioning systems, condensation is removed to prevent moisture buildup indoors. Condensation forms on cold surfaces when warm, humid air comes into contact with them. The process of condensation is important in the water cycle, forming clouds and precipitation. Instinct. The natural tendency of humans and animals. Humans also rely on instinct in situations where quick decisions are needed for survival. Instinctive behaviors, like building nests, are passed down through generations of animals. The bird's instinct to migrate south during the winter ensured its survival in harsh conditions. Even without training, the dog's instinct led it to track the missing person through the woods. Nurture. Provide necessary care for someone or something. Teachers are responsible for nurturing the curiosity and creativity of their students in school. A child's development is influenced by both nurture from caregivers and innate characteristics. Successful leaders nurture the talents of their team members, helping them grow and succeed. Parents nurture their children by providing care, guidance, and emotional support throughout life. Formula. Plan or method for dealing with something. In chemistry, a chemical formula represents the elements and their ratios in a compound. The scientist used a complex formula to calculate the exact distance between the two planets. Solving complex mathematical problems often requires memorizing and applying various formulas. The chemist mixed the chemicals in precise amounts, following the formula for the desired reaction. Herbivorous. Animals, or other living things that eat grass and plants. The diet of herbivorous animals varies depending on the availability of plants in their habitat. Elephants are large herbivorous mammals, consuming vast amounts of grass and leaves daily. The panda is an herbivorous animal that mainly consumes bamboo as its primary source of food. In ecosystems, herbivorous species play a vital role by controlling plant growth and spreading seeds. Experiment. Test done in order to learn something. The scientist designed an experiment to test how temperature affects vegetable growth. He designed a chemistry experiment to determine how different liquids react with each other. The experiment results were consistent with the hypothesis, confirming the initial assumptions. Each experiment undergoes peer review before its outcomes are published in scientific journals. Plate tectonics. The theory of the movement of the Earth's plates. Earthquakes often occur along fault lines where the plate tectonics are in constant motion. The collision of tectonic plates can cause earthquakes, as seen along the Pacific Ring of Fire. Earth's surface constantly shifts due to the slow but powerful movements of plate tectonics. Movements in plate tectonics can result in the formation of mountain ranges and ocean basins. Mutation. Any change in the DNA sequence of a cell. Scientists discovered a mutation in the gene responsible for the animal's unique coloration. A genetic mutation caused the plant to develop unusually large flowers compared to others. Mutation is one of the driving forces behind evolution, introducing new traits over generations. A genetic mutation in a DNA sequence can result in changes to an organism's traits or functions. Paleontology. The scientific study of prehistoric life on Earth. Advances in paleontology have shed light on how dinosaurs lived and evolved over time. Paleontologists use fossils to reconstruct ancient ecosystems and trace evolutionary processes. Paleontology is the scientific study of fossils to understand past life forms and their environments. Through paleontology, scientists reconstruct Earth's prehistoric ecosystems from discovered fossils. Wavelength. The distance between two waves of energy. Scientists measure the wavelength of waves to study various forms of radiation and energy. Shorter wavelengths of light carry more energy than longer wavelengths, like red or infrared. Scientists use wavelength to measure and categorize different types of radiation in the spectrum. In sound waves, the wavelength affects the pitch, with shorter wavelengths producing higher tones. Hygiene refers to maintaining the body's cleanliness. Washing hands regularly is one of the most effective hygiene practices to reduce illness. Proper personal hygiene helps prevent the spread of bacteria and viruses in everyday life. Maintaining hygiene in public spaces is crucial for controlling outbreaks of contagious diseases. Hygiene practices in hospitals are critical for preventing the spread of infections among patients. Aquatic. Growing or living in or upon the water. Dolphins, whales, and fish are examples of aquatic animals that live in oceans and rivers. The study of aquatic life forms is essential for understanding marine biology and ecology. Aquatic environments are highly sensitive to changes in temperature and pollution levels. Scientists study aquatic plants to better understand the balance of life in water-based habitats. Predator. An animal that hunts, kills, and eats other animals. In nature, predators play a vital role in controlling prey populations and maintaining balance. Without predators, prey species would overpopulate, disrupting the entire ecosystem balance. In some environments, the removal of a top predator can lead to the collapse of the ecosystem. Predators often hunt weaker or sicker animals, preventing the overpopulation of certain species. Recycling. Process of converting waste into reusable material. Proper recycling involves sorting materials like paper, glass, and metal for efficient processing. Recycling is one of the simplest ways individuals can contribute to environmental conservation. Recycling plastic reduces environmental pollution, but it requires careful sorting and processing. Many cities encourage recycling programs to minimize landfill waste and promote sustainability. Symbiosis. A relationship between two types of animal or plant. Symbiosis is a relationship where two different species benefit from each other's presence. The clownfish and sea anemone share a mutualistic symbiosis, offering protection and shelter. Lichens represent symbiosis between fungi and algae, thriving together in harsh environments. Symbiosis is essential for many ecosystems to maintain balance and support diverse life forms. Taxonomy. the branch of science concerned with classification. Taxonomy classifies living organisms into hierarchical groups like species, genus, and family. In taxonomy, animals are grouped based on shared characteristics and evolutionary history. The study of taxonomy helps scientists understand relationships between different life forms. Advances in genetics have led to revisions in the taxonomy of many plant and animal species. Pollination. Move the pollen from one plant to another. Bees play an essential role in pollination by transferring pollen from one flower to another. Pollination is crucial for the reproduction of many flowering plants, ensuring seed production. Some plants rely on birds for pollination, especially those with bright flowers and sweet nectar. Cross-pollination between different plant species can produce hybrids with unique characteristics. Fission. The process of dividing the nucleus of an atom. Binary fission in bacteria is a simple form of reproduction, resulting in two daughter cells. The discovery of fission led to the development of both nuclear energy and atomic bombs. Fission in stars produces heavy elements, which are then dispersed throughout the universe. In some organisms, fission is a method of asexual reproduction, producing identical offspring. Flora. The plants of a particular region, or habitat. Local flora can vary dramatically depending on climate, soil, and geographic conditions. The flora of tropical rainforests includes a vast diversity of plant species and ecosystems. Invasive species can threaten the local flora by outcompeting native plants for resources. Studying the local flora helps scientists understand the ecosystem's health and biodiversity. Fossilization. Organic material is converted into a fossil. The fossilization of dinosaur bones provides valuable information about prehistoric life. Fossilization is rare because most organisms decompose before they can be preserved. Fossilization is the process by which the remains of living organisms are preserved in rock. Conditions for fossilization include rapid burial and the absence of oxygen to prevent decay. Velocity. The speed of something in a given direction. Velocity differs from speed because it includes both magnitude and direction of motion. Scientists measured the velocity of the rocket as it broke through the Earth's atmosphere. The athlete's running velocity was crucial in determining her success during the sprint race. To calculate the velocity of a falling object, scientists must account for gravity and air resistance.